So yeah, here I am, calling from Nashville, Tennessee, in the U.S. Yeah, it's a beautiful day today. Really excited about it. Um, I moved here recently from yeah, Minnesota, which is the northern part of the states. Kind of have a history back then. I really got into voice development just within the past few years. Kind of want to explore and go into some of that journey with you guys here today. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Cool. There we go. Perfect. So there I am. So I created two really cool games that I'm really proud of. One's called Spacephones.io. The other is more recent, called AmericanBand.io. They're pretty heavily used games. I have about 1,000 or so unique users for each of those voice games per month, which is pretty significant in this space. As far as one of the ways we kind of monitor things like engagement is we use an utterance KPI, right? Where an utterance is an actual like speaking to the game, getting spoken back to. So an utterance is a pretty significant value to say how are people interacting with my voice skills. So Spacephones gets an average of 40,000 utterances per month, which is just that back and forth, which is really pretty heavy. I've had months where there've been 80,000 utterances. So if you imagine, you know, working with a voice speaker for that long, that's a lot of talk. So cool. So yeah, I'm proud of both of these games. I just want to get into some of my lessons learned between the two, and kind of where this journey took me, and maybe we'll get a little something out of it as well. So cool. So getting into that a little bit, who I am, my background in SaaS, software as a service, some experiences with Bixby, Alexa, and getting into a little bit of those games. And then basically a question and an answer. So it's going to kind of skip through this pretty quick. I had some different ideas of how I wanted to approach this, but for me, you know, I thought maybe it would be an interesting story to tell that I really got into development at a fairly young age, and for me, the biggest driver getting into it was opportunity. I kind of grew up in a tough neighborhood in South Minneapolis. Believe it or not, they're there. This is actually my neighborhood right here. This is the Phillips neighborhood in Minneapolis. It's one of the highest murder rates per capita in the Midwest, and it wasn't a good place for an 8-year-old. So a lot of sirens, a lot of boarded up homes. This was right down the block from where I grew up in this area. So the reason I'm saying that is because my uncle John, who lived with my grandma at the time, kind of brought me inside, and I know that it was motivated just because of what the streets looked like, and kind of some of the kids I was hanging out with, and I think he said, hey, you know what, why don't I show you this toy here? So he showed me his TI-99. This is a 1981 TI-99. It was a few years old at the time, but it had everything. I had a couple of games. There was a tape recorder, so I could record my save my games on it. And it had a 300 baud modem. So for those that aren't super techie, that's about that 0.3 kilobits per second. I think the world record in typing is faster than the amount of information that this could send over the wire. But considering the time, it was pretty cool. So I had my friend Scott over, and my uncle showed us a couple lines of code, you know, and he said, hey, you know, these 3 games are getting a little boring. What else can we do? Oh, check this thing out. So he showed me his basic code. So it's these almost exactly these 7 lines of code, and I remember to the T, of basically being able to input a number 1 through 3. If you selected 1, you got a message that said, "Hey, you win, you're awesome. Else you lose, try again." And it really opened up the world of that back and forth text-based, communication to me. Okay, I see. Like you can make this do anything you want to. So of course, we had some fun with it, I wanted to be able to see if we could personalize it, right? What's your name? Into your name. If it's Scott, then go to line 50 and it says "Boo, you suck." To Scott, of course, it's my best friend at the time. We're 8 years old. What do you do? That's about what you'd expect. So that was kind of our first real handle at having that back and forth communication with it. So it wasn't long before that I figured I could get into a little other things with early gaming, right? So all text-based games where you could be a pirate and find gold, or a spaceship that you could pick planets to explore, or an ice cream truck where you could sell random amounts of ice cream. Um, and horrible things would happen in that game, right? Like the truck bully would steal all of your money, or the dentist stole all your ice cream, all the things you were scared of as a kid. So I kept building this library of text-based games, and sometimes I'd use sprites and graphics, but I was less interested in that visual component. I was more interested in the story, right? The narrative behind it. So using your imagination, having that back and forth communication, but making it more of a story than having been told what you're seeing. So these were definitely some of the happiest years of my childhood. So much later, I got into HTML, at the time ASP and VBScript and JavaScript and some of these other languages. I loved working with them all. At 16, I was working on a business software for a drilling company. No, I didn't make it so if you misconfigure the drill, it says Scott sucks. But it was my first real experience with writing a business application and getting into some of that design part of it. So fast forward 25 years of building and managing SaaS, I still love it to this day. It's a part of my regular routine, and I teach as well at the University of Minnesota and at the University of Toronto, of course, remote, a full stack course. So that's kind of my history of this. I've always had a love for it, but I always brought me back to kind of that want to. I would still want to kind of build those games. That hobbyist side of me really wanted to come back. So that's when I started getting. I got a kind of a cold call from the Be My app for Samsung Bixby. They were trying to build up some of their developer tools and get a little bit more of exposure to their platform. So I just went. I was currently working for an online life insurance startup. I thought, hey, maybe someone could build a tool that had that same back and forth that I had as a kid in those tools, and use that with a voice, system to get life insurance. I'm in that space. I'm sure it's not as cool as a spaceship, right? Or ice cream truck, those kinds of things, but it felt like a possibility at the time. So I wrote Quotacy capsule, which for Bixby, and submitted it for the software development conference. So of course we're finalists. Took home the most impactful skill award for a voice first life insurance quoting tool. And this is what really spurred my interest in getting into voice first, is kind of that incentive of, hey, look, you can build something really cool. People will use it. People like it. And that's me and my former CEO, Jeremy. They're winning the most impactful. Pretty fun. So I had so much fun working with those Samsung Bixby tools. I dug into the Amazon world, that Amazon space with the Amazon Dev Tools. This team was amazing. There was an active Slack channel and a Discord, and the Amazon team made getting something up and running pretty quick. So you could get a hello world, within a matter of minutes. it was really straightforward, how their tools worked. Whereas with the Bixby, it was kind of a roundabout. Not to mention your audience just 10x, 20x by moving to Alexa from the Samsung Bixby. So cool. I built something fun. I built a spacebones.io. So it's similar to that text-based game that I made back in the day, but it's kind of part of that ambient gaming. So Spacebones was meant to be kind of a space adventure, but my first real, look at what is possible within this space. So real-time community multiplayer universe. So you're actually interacting with other users within, using their devices. You're using your devices at your home, all in a kind of a monolithic system where everybody's using the same set of data, same set of rules. Random events was a big one for me, kind of, it's also a throwback to back in the day, but where random things would happen to you during your adventures in space, right? And it was all text. So oh, you stumbled across this, or you found this, or oh, there's 50 Federation ships in the Centauri star system. Should we head there? So the ship really helping you guide your adventure, voice-based. Also that open world exploring, right? So we can go to new star systems and sell items you find and such, where maybe might be a different value in a different star system. So a real marketplace for that. So some of the things I've really tried to do is do like increasing levels. So constantly expanding that universe, new levels, new challenges. Once I started realizing I was getting a lot of use, I would see that I had users at really, really, really high levels, and some that were just starting. So it was kind of a balance between, well, let me keep building this world out to these bigger, more challenging opponents and worlds, and then still trying to keep it small and interesting for the new players. So leaderboards is updated in real time. So on the accompanying website, I thought that was a good ad. Just having the yearly, the monthly, and the weekly updated, the most feared space pirates that are in the system. Cool. So this has also introduced me to ISPs, or in-skill purchasing. As part of the Alexa build, I was able to kind of monetize some of the stuff within it, just like in your phones where you get that freemium service, right? You get another 10 tries at this. Or I downloaded Lemmings a couple weeks ago, and in Lemmings you get an extra few characters for Lemmings. Something like that. So yeah, just an ability to get a couple things within the game, which are like a repair pack. Your ship is broke. You know way to fix it. Hey, 99 cents, you can get your ship back up and running. Otherwise, you kind of have to start over. Otherwise, a rocket pack, 99 cents, that'll give you like this advantage over your other opponents, whether they're the computer-based opponents or real opponents. That gives you that advantage for 99 cents. So, and then I introduced a subscription because it was kind of successful. There was enough people using it where I thought, I could make a subscription base. So a monthly fee for in-game advantage. So you get actual rocket ships delivered every month, rocket packs delivered every month that you can use. So and believe it or not, there was some usage. A few people are subscribers. I probably have not more than a dozen or so currently. But the in-skill purchasing is still pretty popular, where I'll see, maybe 40, 50, 60 in-skill purchases per month. So, all right, without further ado here, I thought I would show the Spacebones. We'll go ahead, sir.
Welcome back to Spacebones. Your ship Maze has been expecting you. Your next delivery of Mega Blast rockets is arriving in 23 hours, 58 minutes. Say, status, or give me a command.
Great, I hope you can hear me now. So this is where we kind of interact with it. So we can say status.
We are currently docked at home, the Sal star system. Your level 1 ship, Maze, is in perfect condition. We have $500 in the Federation Bank. The storage bay has 30 NP. We can get $42 per NP on Sal. We have 8 blast rockets. Say, unload ship, or launch now.
Launch.
We are currently floating around home, the Sal star system. Say, explore, travel or dock.
Explore.
We have located a level 3 pirate ship. Young America is carrying 12 NP and it is in perfect health. Say, attack, attack with rockets, explore, or dock.
Attack.
The hit disabled the antennas on Young America. They took 23 damage and have 82% health. Young America decided to return fire. The return hit barely hit the command systems. We took 6 damage. We are now at 94% health. Say, attack, attack with rockets, or
Attack
run.
with rockets.
We have 7 blast rockets remaining. The blast rocket disabled the antennas on Young America. They took 85 damage and have 16% health. Young America decided to return fire. The hit critically damaged the antennas on Young America. Young America has been completely destroyed.
Hey.
We looted 12 NP. We are currently floating around home, the Sal star system. Say, explore, travel or dock.
Bye.
Great adventure, Captain. Goodbye.
Yeah. So that's the adventure of Spacebound. So with that back and forth, kind of a fun. Obviously, we don't need the visuals for it, but I thought that presentation layer kind of added another element to it, where if you were using an Alexa show, you could kind of engage a little more. But it definitely isn't a requirement. So I think a lot of people like the game because it is kind of easy to use, and there's a lot of different items you can get to, a lot of different star systems. There is a kind of that randomness, like I mentioned, is I think it really help, yeah, gets things engaging a little more different. You don't know what you're going to get into every day, so that's part of that. All right.
Welcome back to space.
Hang on. All right, so we'll skip by this one. Okay, so lessons learned from that. What I found was I wanted to be more engaging. Even I wanted to see if there's a way to say, well, okay, I have them here. They're using the game. What can I do to keep them interested in it? Thinking about it, visiting even a couple times a day, or something where it would give motivation to really like want it to be an ambient thing, right? Where they're in the kitchen, I'm just gonna make lunch quick, and I'm just gonna go check on do something, and then I'm gonna come back to it later. But an incentive almost that makes it time based, where maybe you're given a bonus for returning into the game that same day or something. So it was one of the first questions I brought. It's like, how do I get the user more engaged? The second part of it was a retention. Is I noticed that I was getting a drop off after the first week of about 90%. So 10% would return within that first week, which to me just didn't feel like I was really building a good retentive application. Another thing I found is once these ships got to the size of these hundreds of levels, they have 1,000 hours of gameplay stored, then it was really no knocking them off of the top spots. So what could I do to say, hey, let's make this a little bit more of a playing field, fair playing field for everybody? What does that look like? So I got into some of these ideas, and I came up with American Band. So kind of a just a different take on a role playing type simulation of you're in a rock band. You have you have the ability to practice, so you can write songs, and your goal is to make it as successful as you can, get as many fans as you can, get as much status symbols as you can, and make it as a successful American band. So this concept kind of came to me based upon one of those really old games that I used to play with called It's Only Rock and Roll. So it's kind of an homage to that. So I tried some of these new techniques. I did limited daily energy. So you get 24 hours of energy per day to practice with, or write a song with, or do that. And that seemed to help, because after 3 hours, every 3 hours, you'd get another 3 hours. So you could come back at 3 hours and, oh, maybe I'll go practice in my band quick, or maybe I'll go play a quick gig at a local bar or a nightclub. And that was kind of rewarding, because then, hey, you're going to continue to gain more that energy throughout the day. So month-long campaign was another big one, where you only get your band for a month. That's it. So even playing field across the board. Right? So you're not playing with a band that was created 2 years ago and he's playing every day. And so there's no way you're going to knock him off the leaderboard. Everyone has an equal chance in this space, because you're 30 days just like everyone else. I introduced the concept of 2 website leaderboards. So there's the actual leaderboard, much like the Space Bones one, greatest of all time, greatest of the month, greatest of the week. There's also a marketplace that I introduced into this. Well, first there was the song. So you write a song, you could also be the greatest song of all time, greatest month of all time, greatest of the week. So your band and your songs that you're writing can be on those charts, on those websites. Cool. New randomized factors. Just like the other game, the new kind of things being thrown at you and your band that can happen. Kind of fun stuff. I came up with maybe 200 different randomized things. Your drummer got too drunk and he couldn't play in the next gig. So rock star kind of problems, right? So there's also the live marketplace, which was a kind of a fun way to buy and sell status symbols. So if you had enough money, you could buy a new Lamborghini, right? Or you could buy a house, or you could buy all these different items of status symbols, and then you can sell them later on for either an increased price or a decreased price. So an actual marketplace that's live, updated every 15 minutes in real time, with the prices of all these different status symbols. So it's almost another element to the game, where you could make your band money, which you could put into media and make your band more successful and more popular, just from having assets in your band. So kind of another dimension that I thought would really help engagement, because once you kind of learn how to use that, then you can kind of focus your energy a little bit more into that. Cool. So without further ado, then here's American Band.
How are you this fine evening? The rest of your band, Tunno, is in the studio. Tell me what you want to do. You can write a song, market band, find a gig, practice rest, band management, or get status.
Write a song.
You finished writing a song called Share Kitchen. Critics rated it great, with a score of 86,103. Tunno lost -4 happiness during the writing process. Critics liked the song. Tunno gained 2% critics approval. Share Kitchen did not crack the top 10 charts. Tell me what you want to do. You can write a song, market band, find a gig, practice rest, band management, or get status.
Market band.
Tuno has $5,000 in banned bucks. More options will open up with more banned bucks. With more fans, Tuno can get better gigs. Advertising takes about 2 hours of energy. Say, advertise, followed by the medium. Your options include street flying for $2,500, social media for $1,000. Or you can advertise via, for example, say, advertise on social media.
Social media.
Your marketing campaign on social media went well, it cost $1,000, Tuno gain 180 more fans. Tell me what you want to do, you can, write a song, market band, find a gig, practice rest, band management, or get status.
Practice.
Let's take a look. During the practice Tuno lost 9 fans, we used 2 hours, and got an 8% bump in critic approval. Critic approval is 60%. Tell me what you want to do, you can, write a song, market band, find a gig, practice rest, band management, or get status.
All right, let's find a gig.
Your band will gain popularity and band bucks, but lose happiness and critic approval. Playing a gig takes about 2 hours of energy. With more fans, we can get better gigs. The only gig available is local dive bar. For example, say, local dive bar.
Local dive bar.
Local dive bar event didn't go great. The event hit about 50% capacity. You made $200 in band bucks. We lost 6 energy, and minus 5%
So you see, we only
in
have
happiness.
8 energy left.
Tell me what
after
you
this.
want to do, you can, write a song, market band, find a gig, practice rest, band management, or get status.
Band management.
Here's some options
So we
for
can get
the
a new
band.
manager.
Say,
We
take
can,
out loan, to apply for a loan.
buy status
Say,
symbols,
buy
sell
status
status
symbol,
symbols.
to increase happiness
Start a
and
new band, quit,
popularity.
begin over.
Say, hire new manager to get a new manager. Say, start a new band to quit the band and start over.
Buy status symbol.
Hey Chris, we're getting some
symbols will
slightly,
immediately
we're
increase
getting some
happiness.
slightly odd audio and video overlap here.
Okay, let's
So,
see. A
be
platinum
useful to move
bracelet
on
is
from
available
video.
for 24,760.
Yeah, sure. That's the
Say
end of it. So
bye.
anyway, so we just
Awesome.
missed it. So yeah, that's yeah,
How
there we
are
go.
you?
So yeah, that's been it. That's been a fun, really fun application to build. Obviously I can share this later on so we can watch some of these videos later, but what's next for me? I really want to continue to expand Spacebones.io and American Band, building out some more things. I want to try to find a way to monetize American Band, whether I'm adding hours to it or something to that effect. And then obviously I welcome new ideas. Someone comes to me with a great idea. I may just try to implement it with them. So yeah, that's it for me.